Welcome back, folks, for another quick tip video. Now, after playing a week of 9.2, I noticed there's a very big significant change with marks of excellence for your gun barrels of your different tanks. Now, in order to get marks of excellence, you have to do pretty well with the tank. I already made a video on explaining marks of excellence for my 9.1 patch update, so I'm going to put the link right now into the video and you can look over that if you want to. But with 9.2, Wargaming changed the algorithm needed for getting these percentage points in order to get marks of excellence. So what's the main difference is that these percentage points are not accumulative now. So what that means is these percentage points will drop now. So that's gonna suck. So for 9.1, these percentage points will not drop if you have a bad game or so. So you always keep constant at a steady level until you do a better game next time, where the percentage point will go back up. Whereas in this time, the percentage points will drop. So yeah, you'll see it happening. The good news is you get to keep all the marks of excellence you earned on your tanks before 9.2 came out. So if you already earned a star or 2 or 3 on your tanks, you get to keep those. But your percentage point will drop. So it's whatever. So you have to reacquire those percentage points if you want to go back up for another level, like the 3rd star on my ISU. So you get to keep those, but now it will drop the percentage point. So you can see here I already got 2 star on my ISU, but if you look at my stats, what the heck, there you go, the efficiency rating or the ranks rating by damage is only at 84.6% now. So it will actually drop if you do badly in the tank or in the tank you already play. So yeah, the percentage point will drop if you do poorly. Now this drop is more significant at higher percentage point, obviously. So basically if you're already at 70%, 80%, 90%, these changes drops are very significant if you do very bad in a game. So be aware of that. So basically you can go from like 88%, let's say 88%, to like 86% immediately after a game. That's what happened to me once. So yeah, this shit is hard now. So basically earning marks of excellence is harder now. And this video will tell you a few tips about how to get these percentage back, as well as earning more percentage points for the next marks of excellence you want to get. Alright, before we start, I just want to make sure that you know that the 9.1 marks of excellence tip video, the tips from that video is still very good. It is still decent and it will help you earn those percentage points for that sticker on your gun barrel. But the tips from this video will be more sophisticated and generally covers the tips from before, more or less. But I'm going to use my ISU as the main tank in my examples of playing in order to get these marks of excellence. So here we go. For tip number 1, always kill off the easy targets first. So for example, if you're facing a KV4 and an AMX 5100, generally I want to shoot the AMX 5100 before I shoot the KV4. Reason being is that AMX 5100 is an easier kill. Reason being he has no armor. Now since he has no armor, your teammates might be able to also hurt the AMX 5100, whereas they might not have enough penetration power for the KV4. You on the other hand have the BL-10 gun on the ISU. You can hurt both tanks equally. So what I'm saying is shoot the easy targets first, because your teammates might be able to KS that damage, that easy damage from the AMX 5100, whereas they might not be able to shoot the KV4 and damage the KV4. So you want to take all the damage that you know you can get from the AMX 5100 before he dies off super easy before shooting the KV4. So always shoot easy targets first. This is also more prominent with bigger comparisons, such as the KV4 versus a Rheinmetall Borsig. The Rheinmetall Borsig has 10 millimeters of frontal hull armor. You want to shoot that targets first, because almost anything it faces can penetrate it before artillery derps it and stuff like that. So you want to KS all easy targets first. Okay, tip number 2. Have effective use of your shots and damages. So for example, the BL-10 on the ISU does 750 damage. you do not want to waste that damage and reload time for like a 10 health target. So you want to have the maximum amount of damage you possibly can out of the shot, even if that means you want to switch targets to something fresh, like a new target or so with full health. So don't waste your long caliber shots, such as the BL-10 gun on the ISU, or the ISU 100Y, or the KV-1S. I mean, those guns reload pretty slowly, around 14 seconds or so. So you want to save that shot. Oh, not the KV-3, but you know what I mean. Or the KV-2. You want to save high caliber shots or slow reloading gun shots for full health target that you know you can penetrate. Don't waste your shots. Know the full potential of your gun and use that gun's full potential against opponents. So don't waste your shots against measly like 10 health targets, and you just taking more time out to reload, taking time out to shoot other targets, and taking health or damage away. So you get less damage, obviously. So effective use of your shots. Alright, tip number 3 is detracking. Now, targets that's damaged while being immobilized from having their tracks blown off also count as spotting damage for the tanks that blow off the tracks, obviously. So basically, that's what light tanks do in order to get their spotting damage in, by detracking somebody or scouting them out. Now, if you manage to do that with your other tanks, such as a damaging tank, you get your damages in, as well as the potential of having your teammates shoot at the immobilized targets, such as artillery or other tank destroyers. So for example, if I'm playing my ISU, and I detract somebody while doing 750 damage, I can wait to reload, and the artillery could derp the immobilized targets for another 500 or even their full health of HP. So basically giving you that damage as spotting damage, making it very worthwhile for your shots. So basically you want to take detracking and the concept of detracking and apply to your shots. So if you're aiming for drive wheels, such as the wheels right here and right here, you will damage the tank by shooting through the hull, as well as detract them, making them immobilized and giving you or your artillery or your friends the time it needs to get spotting damage in, so which is very, very nice. So try to detract somebody and it will give you a lot of XP because of spotting damage. Now when you're trying to detract, always go for these drive wheels right here. This is 90% way of efficiently blowing off somebody's tracks. Now these road wheels in the middle, not so likely. These are more like 50% or so if you hit at these spots. So try to go for these drive wheels at the edges. But detracking somebody will earn you spotting damage if your teammates manage to hit them, which means more damage to you, which means more marks of excellence, obviously. Now tip number 4 is ram. You can ram for damages with your tank, but be warned, you will take damage as well. So the general rule is as don't always ram with your tank, because you want to keep your tank healthy. The more health you have, the longer you stay alive, the more damage you'll do. But if you can go for a cheeky ram where you're reloading the gun and you can survive from it, then go for it. So basically, if you have a damaged Cromwell in front of you that has like 100 health left, go for the ram with the ISU. Ram him to death, reload, and back out and shoot another target. So make sure you can ram easy targets, and ramming damage is still counted. Don't ram all the time and you'll lose health a lot because you want to stay alive. Now you also want to make sure that your artillery just fired, because I've seen people's own artillery derp them while they're ramming another target, and that gets into a lot of nerd rages and just like, what the fuck, you hit me while I'm trying to ram somebody. So make sure your artillery just fired, or make sure that you can survive from the ramming, because you want to stay alive, and the longer you stay alive, the more damage you'll do. Alright, that leads up to tip number 5, which is staying alive. The most important thing is, if you stay alive, the more damage you'll do. But if you die too soon, you're not going to do a lot of damage, and your results going to be bad. But make sure you're still being aggressive when you're staying alive, because you do not want to turtle up at base, camping there, and wait for your teammates to die, and the rest of the enemy are going to bum rush you and you're going to die afterwards without doing a lot of damage. So stay alive, but also be aggressive about it. That way you'll get your damages in, as well as not preventing your enemy team from winning, obviously. So you want to stay alive, take key positions but still use cover, damages, and hide back out. No, play smart, obviously. So try to stay alive. The longer you stay alive, the more damage you do. And the last tip is use premium shells if you need to, or gold shells. Now, gold shells will cost you a lot of credits if you're going to fire them all the time, but it does give you a lot more penetration for those damages you need. Just remember, gold shells cost a lot of money. So what I recommend is use gold shells to get like 0.5% or so for the next mark of excellence. So if you're on the borderline, like at 84.5%, and you want the second mark of excellence on your gun, use gold shells for the next round. That's how you get that little hump over the damages. Now if you don't do well and you lose, you're going to lose a lot of credits. So be warned about using gold shells. But gold shells are there for you to get some more damage in. Now those 6 tips will help you getting more percentage point for your marks of excellence. But I have 2 more unorthodox tips that will get you more damage, but it might piss off your teammates. So use them to your own discretion. So unorthodox tip number 1 is that stop capturing base for damage. Now, first of all, you want to be sure that your team is winning. Otherwise, if you're losing the game as well as losing cap points, your teammates will be really pissed off about it. So yeah, be careful that you actually win the game if you're going to drive off cap circle and go for damages. Now 2, you want to be sure that you're fast enough to do that, because if you're driving something slow and you're chasing somebody after driving out of cap circle, it's not a good idea because they can just run circles around you and go for the cap again. So you want to be sure that you're fast enough and make sure that your team is winning to drive off cap circle and chasing for damages. So be careful about that. It's very unorthodox and people will hate you for it, but if you want the damages. Now for unorthodox tip number 2 is that block shots against your teammates. Now if you have 2 tanks versus 1 target, so for example if you driving the ISU and your teammate is driving another ISU and there's only 1 target left, you want to make sure your teammate fired before driving in front of him and block his shot. Now this is more important about casting the target. So you can drive in front of your teammate if you have full health. Now you can take a hit from him, but you're blocking his shot against the enemy tank when you're trying to KS him. So block your teammates, but make sure you have enough health to survive, or if you're winning, obviously. Now you do not want to block your teammate's shot if you're losing and throw the game away. That's just stupid, obviously. But make sure you're winning. Make sure you can take a hit or make sure they already fired before you block their shots and try to KS them out of their kill. So that's another unorthodox way of playing for damages. But just be warned, people will get pissed at you. People will shoot you. People will hit you and it will hurt. So be careful about it. But other than that, that's how you get damages within this game. Now those tips will help you getting marks of excellence, but just remember, in the end, if you're overly aggressive, you become overly dead. So be aggressive, take key positions, but still take cover, and spot for your team or do damages. Know your role. That's a very important part of playing this game. Also know that stay alive. The longer you stay alive, the more damage you do. So try to stay alive as well as you can. So take cover, hide in bushes, do whatever to stay alive. Run away if you have to. That's another good part about staying alive. And lastly, don't hide in the base or camp at the base. That's just a bad idea. Because when your teammates get wiped out, you're the last guy to go and you get bum rushed. I see a lot of people get bum rushed in the end. So don't be a pussy about it. So be aggressive, take key positions, stay alive, you know, play smart, you'll do fine. So hope you guys enjoyed the video, but that's the tips I'm gonna give you about acquiring these little stickers on the gun, which means nothing in my opinion. These stickers means nothing. It doesn't mean how good of a player you are. Well, kind of does, but it doesn't mean how well you will perform and stuff like that. It's not a future indicator stuff. It's just a flashy sticker thing to show off against other kindergarten children and stuff like that. It's okay. It's not that important. Just remember, play the game decently. Don't YOLO, and don't be a dick. Use those unorthodox rules to your discretion, because I used them before and it really pissed people off. But it was worth it. Second star. But hope you guys enjoyed the video. Rate, comment, subscribe, whatever. So let me know what do you think about it. But I want feedback. But other than that, I'll see you guys next time. Peace.